Hello there everybody, and welcome to What's the Quack. I'm your host, Ducky. And it's been a while. It's been over a month since I've actually bothered my hole to sit down here and record a podcast. So yeah, I'm a little bit out of practice in talking to myself. Because that's all a podcast is. It's just somebody sitting in a room with a microphone in front of them talking to themselves. Thinking out loud, if you will. But yeah, it's been a while. What happened was shit in the channel just got really hectic. Like, I wanted to kind of get more stuff out. And it was around the time I think I was making the fine dining video. Whining and dining, I think I called it for a finish. Yeah, it was around the time I was making that. I was approached by Skillshare. It was a company Skillshare to do an ad integration with one of my videos. And I agreed. And I intentionally set myself a difficult to reach deadline. Because I had it set for 2 weeks after my whining and dining video was supposed to come out. But the problem is the whining and dining video took a little bit longer than I thought. So the whining and dining video came out a week late. So basically I only had given myself a week to get my next video out, which was life hacks versus life lacks. Yeah, so I had fuck all time. So it was absolute crunch hour. I put in so much time on that life hacks and life lacks. And it's not because I gave it any extra polish. If anything, it's one of my easier videos I've ever made, or at least in recent years, because I didn't need to do like fucking many drawings or kind of elaborate effects or anything for it. It's kind of more reminiscent of the older style Ducky videos, for those of you who've been around a long time. Yeah, needless to say, I had it done in 4 days, which is unheard of for me. And how I got it done in 4 days was many long fucking days of editing, just non-stop. Even I think it was the day before I finished it, I had woke up at about 1 o'clock, around lunchtime, as YouTubers often do, because we have no obligation to get up early, which is great. Suits my life so well. But so I literally got up. I started editing at 1 p.m. and I didn't stop editing until it was near 7 a.m. The following day. So it was 17 or 18, I'm not fully sure, solid hours of fucking just editing. Not that I didn't stop for lunch or anything like that, but still, I hadn't stepped away from it for too long. And yeah, fucking hell, I put in a fuck ton of work, but I got it done for a finish, and it's the first time in a very long time that I've uploaded it in less than a week after uploading, outside of silly videos that are not main videos. But yeah, so it was 6 days between the release. I'm recording this on the morning where I'm releasing life hacks and life lacks. I hope it actually does well. It has a good broad appeal than what my usual videos do, so hopefully it does well, because I feel like my channel's the viewership of my channel slowed down a little bit recently, and I think a lot of that is just because I'm not getting videos out frequently enough. And when you're going like a month between uploads, it's very easy for people to forget that you exist, when you're not popping up in their feed. So yeah, making a conscious effort to get videos done. But as I usually do, as I got the video finished and polished and everything yesterday, and it was done, and I was after putting down 4 or 5 flat out days of fucking non-stop work, I decided to celebrate with having a few drinks in the evening. So I did just that last night. I cracked open a bottle of vodka, because I can't have anything else, because I'm fucking still dieting. Dieting properly now. I was kind of fucking on and off it. I was playing very fast and loose with my diet the last couple of months, but I'm on it solid now for about a week and a half at this stage, which is, longer than I've gone solidly on a diet in a long while. So this one's going to stick. Anyway, I digress. Yeah, so I had myself a nice cheeky few glasses of vodka last night while I was playing myself some Final Fantasy 15 and playing back through that again. Played some DLC at that, passed the DLC, and then, you know what? Fuck it, I jump onto Discord there and mingled with a couple of the boys. So I jumped on Discord and I was tipping away in my booze now, to be quite. I didn't do the dog on it at all. I was drunk by the time I went to bed, but I wasn't twatted drunk. You know that kind of way when you still have a solid memory of it and you didn't do anything too silly or say anything too stupid, which is always a plus. I woke up this morning and a fucking head was thumping. Why is it with, like, when you're drinking in your 30s especially, why is it that, like, hangovers are so inconsistent? Like, a couple of months back, I had a few drinks in the evening on Discord again, similar kind of situation, but I got a lot more drunk than what I did last night. I had gotten into bed even after that booze, and apparently I had woke up an hour later, went in for a lash, came back out of the toilet and walked into the office, of all things, and had fallen asleep in my chair. And I only know this because the missus told me. I have no recollection of it, no memory at all. So yeah, it was there. But the next morning after that, I woke up and I was feeling grand. Like literally after about 45 minutes of waking up, I was feeling fucking A1. I didn't even realise I wouldn't have known that I was drinking the night before. You know? Even though last night I had maybe like 7 vodkas, I fucking woke up feeling like shit today. So my head is thumping. What's worse is that I woke up this morning. Here, just to tell you how fucking... how a fucking skit show my life is. I woke up this morning, the head absolutely lifting off me, checked my phone, and had a message from the missus who was at work, and she goes, could you get a urine sample off Max and bring it down to me, because he seemed a bit off there this morning, and we want to run a test on his urine. And I was like, what? So yeah, tired fucking hungover Ducky's first task of the day was to chase me dog around the back garden with a fucking saucepan trying to get him to piss into it. Fuck's sake. If you want to know if you live near me, if at any stage in the last couple of weeks you looked out your back window and seen a very tired, dishevelled man chasing his pit bull around the back garden, trying to get him to piss into a pot. Oh, fucking hell. That's how my morning kicked off. I eventually got the urine sample. I literally had to follow him around, and like the second he cocked the leg, I had to shove a saucepan in under him and get him to piss into it. And then I had to fucking get into the car then and drive that down to the fucking vets. Oh. Some days your life is like a sitcom, But anyway, yeah. What do I want to talk about today? I came into this podcast with no notes. Normally I have like a Word document home with some bullet points of things that have popped into my head during the week that I want to touch on, but I don't have any. I just said fuck it, freeball it. You guys ever listen to the Bill Burr podcast? That's the kind of shit I want to be able to do. I want to be able to be that consistently interesting or funny. Don't know how that man does it. He's so fucking talented when it comes to podcasts. Bastard. Sickens you. People in this world sicken me, especially when they're much more talented than me. Do you ever find that? You find other people's talent fucking annoys you? I do this like a lot of people know, like the kind of art style on my channel, the foundation of my art style on my channel was actually kind of more or less lifted from another YouTuber called Zero Punctuation. I copied it fairly strongly early on in my channel's career until I've eventually started mutating it and morphing it and making it my own. But it gave me a good foundation because I didn't know where to start, you see. And I'm a big believer, imitation being the biggest form of flattery. But yeah, there's a YouTuber called Zero Punctuation, and big inspiration for me. Obviously, I adore that man, but he annoys me because I hadn't watched one of his videos in a long while. It's hard to keep up with shit when you're working all the time, but I hadn't seen one of his videos in a long time, and I watched his videos, and for those of you who don't know, he does video game reviews, but very funny video game reviews. But yeah, I clicked on one of his videos there the other day. I can't remember which one it was, but I just remember sitting there kind of going, as my channel grows, I feel like my writing is getting better, I'm getting funnier, my delivery, everything is getting much better. I feel like I'm actually deserve some audience. I don't want to be too fucking cocky, but I feel like my comedy is enough to draw a few people in. But then I sit down and watch a Zero Punctuation video, and he just humbles the shit out of me because he's just so fucking funny, and it's annoying. It's really fucking annoying how fucking funny that man is. So other people's talent bothers me, unless of course I'm paying him. Like Rokata, your man who does the art for me. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, I don't draw my own art. I do the background drawings. The ones, the real simple, basic looking fucking ones. I do the backgrounds, and that's pretty much it starts and ends. A chap with the name of Rokata originally designed the Ducky character. Like, for those of you who've ever seen my very early videos, that was my level of drawing a duck. Like, it was like my first 7 or 8 videos before I commissioned Rokata to redesign it. But yeah, ever since then, he's done pretty much every single character on my channel that is a duck, and 1 or 2 that even isn't. Sometimes I'll kind of draw one on a quick myself when there's simply no time to commission one to get video out in time and stuff like that. But yeah, the vast majority of all the good art on my channel is Rokata, and he's doing my thumbnails now going forward as well, so you're going to see a lot more of that. His first thumbnail, you can probably see the difference in the art style. His first thumbnail was that one, it's absolutely terrified, I think was written on the thumbnail. It was the one I did about the sleep paralysis. But that was his first thumbnail for the channel, and you probably see the difference, because I used to commission a girl called Skumkin, but she just kind of lost motivation for it, so, which is fair enough. If you're not enjoying something, you don't stick with it, move on, it'll just make you miserable. I seen this story the other day on Twitter, and it was another one of these stories where it was like this female teacher, attractive female teacher, was being charged because she slept with one of her students. And I know in society that's wrong. Everybody knows it's wrong. You know it's wrong. I know it's wrong. And it's disgusting. It's an adult taking advantage of somebody who, at least legally doesn't have the ability to give consent for stuff like that. But even still, I can't help but go, nice. It's so bad, isn't it? Like, if that attractive female teacher was a man and that student was a girl, I would just view that so differently. And I know it's the same thing. I know it's the exact same thing, but I don't know why. It's just the testosterone, the hornball in me and the hornball in a lot of men out there will just kind of go, where were fucking teachers like that when I was in school, lad? Why wasn't my fucking tasty teacher trying to ride me all the time? And sure, the riding I could have done when I was that age, by Christ. The fucking, just a horn that wouldn't quit when you're that age. One of the best things about getting older is your libido calms the fuck down, thankfully. Because, Jesus, as you're a bloke when you're coming up, like, you spend the better part of your late teens and early to mid 20s just fucking ride. That's all your fucking head is saying. Like, that's all you want. That's all you're chasing. And it's fucking maddening, like, so. It's great to kind of have the libido calm down a bit. Although saying that now, I was so flat out at work the last few days that, just hadn't even had time for a wank. You know you're a busy man when you hadn't had time for a wank. Oh. And then there now, and I just hit me vape, lads. Vape Nation, all that. You know, the amount of people vaping nowadays is actually fucking crazy. And I don't know whether to be happy about it or annoyed. Because the majority of people I know that vape didn't smoke before they vaped. And I don't know how okay with that I am. Like, for those of you who don't know, I smoked for fucking years. I was in, like, 5th class in school when I started smoking. I would have been about 11, 12, something like that. It's a silly fucking age, I know. But, I started smoking very, very young. And was it 2 years ago? Or maybe 3 years ago? I can't quite remember. I quit. I switched to vaping. And I didn't even plan for it either. Because like every smoker wants to quit smoking. They just struggle to admit that to themselves. There's no smoker out there that really enjoys it. Like, smokers smoke to get the feeling that non-smokers have all the time. You're just smoking to get rid of a craving. You're not gaining anything from smoking. And I know some people will be like, oh yeah, but it just helps with my stress. It's like, no, it doesn't. That stress is literally you stressing because you're craving something. It's not, it doesn't get rid of general stress whatsoever. One thing that really contributed or really helped me with quitting was I came across this video on YouTube ages ago. And it was about vaping, but it was they introduced a vape pen to this elderly fella, like not super elderly, but old enough, like late 50s, maybe early 60s, something like that. And he'd been smoking for about 40 years, solid 40 fucking years, like. And they introduced his vape pen to him because it's like a documentary or something. But they introduced his vape pen to him, and they're like, "Yeah, try this for a while there, see how you get on, and we'll check back with you, down the road, and we'll see how you got on." So that was grand. They left him to it, and they came back 6 months later, and they were like, "We call him Jack." They're like, "So Jack, how did you get on with the vape pen and all that?" And he's like, "Yeah." He goes, "The day you handed me that vape pen, the cigarette I had before you handed me that vape pen was the last cigarette I've ever smoked." I was fucking blown away by that because I was just like, here's a man who's been smoking for 40 years. He just like that, he was able to move on to the vape. And I was like, geez, if he can do that and I can't, it was spite that did it, lads. I goes, if he can fucking do that, then I can fucking do that. And I literally did it there and then. Yeah, I pretty much, I had my last fag out of my box. It's the cigarettes for you Americans. I smoked my last cigarette and that was it. I was done. I already had a vape there from... I used to go away with the missus, stay in hotel rooms, and you obviously can't smoke in hotel rooms, so I used to just bring along a vape so I wouldn't be up and down and fucking in and out of the room all night, like, But switched to the vape and haven't touched the cigarettes since. There's one thing I learned about vaping as well is when I first started vaping, I started off with like all these tobacco flavors and all that just to have like some familiarity with smoking. And I was on a tobacco stuff for maybe about 2 weeks before I started to realise that tobacco tastes awful. It really does. And I was like, why the fuck would I be smoking tobacco flavours when I can have a flavour that tastes like a unicorn has just ejaculated into my mouth? I want like a fruity, fucking mentally mad, mouth-watering flavour. That's what I want. There's absolutely no need to have a tobacco flavour when you have all these other flavours. For those of you guys who are into vaping, my two daily drivers, I have... one I've used for quite a long time now, since I more or less started vaping. One I've used a lot. It's one from Vampire Vape. It's called Heisenberg, which is a really nice one. It is one of the nicest Heisenbergs I've had. And another one by a company called IVG, and it's Rainbow Blast. IVG, if you're listening, send me some free e-juice because It's nice. Although I will say, something's wrong with your fucking e-juice because it burns out my coils in no time flat. I think it's just too thick. Because like it says a 70-30, but all my fucking e-juices are 70-30. But this fucking IVG one is noticeably thicker. I can actually see that it's thicker. But anyway, I'm bitching and moaning about my vape. I've no get up on go on me. I've kind of promised myself that I record this podcast. And now that I'm recording it, I've no energy. You know what I want to do? I want to sit down. I want to throw my feet up. I'm going to play a bit more Final Fantasy 15. I enjoy that game. That's such an underrated game. I don't know. It's just got it's got a fantastic atmosphere, fantastic location. I will say, like, story-wise, God, it falls down in the final third or the final quarter. There's some good ideas in there, but the game just fucking falls flat in its face at that point. Everything leading up to that is just a very enjoyable game. It's a game I put on to fucking relax. Oh, I got some fucking news as well, actually. I was, my internet went down the other night, as it sometimes does with fucking Vodafone, which is really annoying. But, I went down and, obviously I was working on my video Life Hacks versus, Life Lacks. And I need the internet to download images and stuff like that, so I was quite annoyed by this, especially because I was doing it under a fucking crunch time. You know, I had a deadline and shit. And I was like, this is just fucking typical, isn't it? For fuck's sake. And just losing the reg. But, yeah, so I was quite annoyed. So I tweeted at Vodafone. I just tweeted at him something along the lines of, lads, you're breaking me fucking heart with this shit again. Like, and I was like, here, while you're at it, can you fix the problem where my internet resets every single night between the hours of 1 a.m. and 5 a.m? Because it does that. Ever since I've been with Vodafone, my internet would just randomly fucking reset between 1 a.m. and 5 a.m. It'll cut out for about 5 to 10 minutes and then it'll come back and be grand. But the thing is, I'm awake at that hour and sometimes I'd be working, but the bigger thing is I'd want to be playing games online with my friends, or even bigger still, I want to do streams. And like the perfect time for me to do a stream is like after midnight, because the missus is in bed and I'm not at anything else really at that hour. So it'll be a nice time to do a stream for me. But I obviously couldn't do a stream because if I'm streaming and the internet cuts out, well then my stream goes down and everybody thinks I've left, and then they stop watching. Even if I come back on, I've lost a big chunk of my audience, and it's really annoying, the fact that I couldn't rely on it. I didn't want to have that in the back of my head. I tweeted that at him. Obviously that tweet got a load of likes and a load of people commenting, but a load of people replying to it going, yeah, this is fucking bullshit. I'm not the only one that has this problem, so it seems like everybody is. But sure, most people wouldn't notice because most people would be asleep between the hours of midnight and 5 a.m. So they wouldn't notice it. But of course, me being an absolute night owl, it drives me up the wall. So a load of people had commented on this, and then one chap, I'm going to get up his Twitter, give him credit for this because he saved my life. Yeah, so there's one guy on Twitter who's Paul Burke replied to that tweet I had on Vodafone. Saying to me that if you pay an extra £6 a month, they'll give you a static IP address, and then the router doesn't need to reset. And he said he got it himself and is well worth it. I was like, oh shit, wait, I can literally just pay for this problem to go away, which I shouldn't have to. Like, why is it that Vodafone only have this fucking problem, but every other ISP that I've been with doesn't? But anyway, so yeah, I went off and I bought a static IP, and from what I can tell, it hasn't reset. The problem is I was on Discord last night with the guys for the better part of the night, and it didn't reset on me then. So, it's looking promising. I'm pretty sure it's actually fixed the problem. So, shout out to you, Paul Burke, for helping me out with that, giving me a solid bit of advice. So, it's looking likely I will, in fact, stream at silly o'clock in the morning sometime. Keep giving fucking promises I don't fall through, but I hope to stream sometime soon. Don't know what to play, though. I kind of want a relaxed, chill game where I can just still intermingle with just chat. Oh, fucking game popped into my head. It was like, do what Pokemon games? Oh god, I love them. I'd love to do Pokemon fucking games. Pokemon Ruby. That was the one I put the most hours in of any of the Pokemon games. Pokemon Ruby. Yeah. Actually, you know what? No, I can't. I know you guys keep up with Great Islander. He's back, and got an email the other day to say he went live and he was playing Pokemon, so I can't. I already get enough fucking comparisons. No, something. We'll see. Hold on a second. What time is it? Oh my god, lads. It's time for Quack Me Up Corner.
Quack, 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 quack me up. Quack, 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 quack me up. Get your ducks in order. It's time for Quack Me Up Corner.
Got one just for the lads today. So lads, how come women don't need driver's licenses? Because there's no road between the bedroom and the kitchen. Outrageous, Ducky! You're sexist bastard, Joe! Yes, it is sexist. It's shocking, you see. That's why it's funny. It's shock humour. Hope you enjoyed that. Speaking of shock humor, I actually got a comment on one of my videos there the other day, and it was somebody criticizing the comedy in my video. They were saying it was boring, uninteresting, dribble, blah blah blah. You know, usual things like that. Water off a duck's back, literally in this case. But yeah, that kind of stuff doesn't bother me. But what did bother me was he called me autistic and had the word Nazi in his name. And I was like, wait now, you're going to criticize my comedy and you're going to call me autistic and have the word Nazi in your name, and you think you're on any podium to be criticizing comedy when you're using Nazi, the bottom of the barrel of funny. Like that's where you say, like, you know, how to be an edgelord 101, talk about Nazis. Fucking step 2, talk about autism. It's like, it's so entry level comedy, or so entry level edgelord comedy on his behalf. I just found that quite amusing. Of course, I didn't reply to them. I don't want to give them fuckers the attention, because that's all it is, really. It's just it's a cry for help, and I'm like, fuck off. I'm not helping you. There's like some people in there like talking to you, because I've gotten into a few Twitter arguments and stuff in the past. Like, well, of course I do. I'm a hot-headed fucking male here, like, you know. But yeah, I've gotten in a few arguments with people on Twitter, and you can just tell by the replies off of some people there. Wow, they're so fucking unhappy. Like, the level of passion that they can give an argument is ridiculous. If you guys are ever bored, just look back on my old tweets of where I've gotten into arguments with people. Like, I'll always try and inject as much comedy into my replies as I can. It makes angry people even more furious when you're not even taking them serious. And I'm just a fucking troll. I love annoying people. It's like my favorite thing to do ever. If I could start a new genre of YouTube videos where I just annoy the shit out of my audience, I would. On April Fool's just gone. If only, you know, if I thought I could get away with it with the copyright system and stuff on YouTube, I would have done it. But I wanted to literally just upload a Rickroll to my channel. Not even title it as like face reveal or anything like that, because I think like on April 1st, everybody be just too wise to it. So I would just call it like, you know, Stupid Customers Part 11. And just Rickroll every fucking one of you bastards. Oh, that'd be too much fun. God, I'm actually delirious with the fucking hangover. I'm feeling a bit better now. I sculled 2 pints of water when I got up, took 2 Panadol and had a coffee. I feel like that's as much as I can do. I had a breakfast as well. I kind of had to force that into me because my stomach wasn't ready for it. But sure, look, first world problems. Where's little Tuk there, and I can explain my problems to him. Bumped into one of the guys I used to work with years ago the other day. I remember, like, a memory of him popped into my head from back when we were working, and the memory was him telling me that his missus doesn't let him watch porn, which I find incredibly fucking weird. The fact that you could have a spouse or a partner that doesn't let you watch porn. How fucking creepy is that? That's like a mother-son relationship. That's not a fucking boyfriend-girlfriend, you know. It's not a romantic relationship. That's a fucking parental relationship is what that is. I can't be the only person that's weirded out by people having such a fucking odd rule. Like, it's just so strange. And to be quite honest, if you're ever worried about your man looking at other women, first of all, you're going to have to make your peace with it. It's just something we do. It's involuntary. And second of all, he's probably much more likely to cheat on you if he's not able to get out his kind of sexual frustrations with porn. I'd consider myself a noble enough man. But Jesus, if I didn't have porn, I would struggle. As most people would. Like, you know, it's just bizarre. So bizarre. A lot of people in relationships have all these like weird fucking rules and taboos and stuff like that. Like asking your missus or or missus asking their fellas and stuff for permission to go out drinking. That's another one, and I find fucking bizarre. You know, they're like, oh yeah, so are you coming out tonight? And it's like, yeah, hold on, I'll just run that by my missus. Like, what you mean run it by your missus? You mean let her know that you're going out, not fucking asking permission. You're a fucking adult. You're in a grown person's body. Like, there's no reason for you to be asking for permission to do fucking anything nowadays. The only time you need permission off your significant other to do something is as if you already had plans and you have to cancel them or whatever else. That's fair enough. Like, if me and the missus were supposed to be going somewhere one night and I'd be like, oh, listen, the boys are having a house party. Would you mind if I, skipped out on you and just went to hang out with the boys? That's the only time it's justified to be asking for permission in a fucking relationship. Anything else is just ridiculous. Like, no, you're a grown adult. You don't need to be asking anybody permission to do fucking anything at all. I just find it so strange if my missus came up to me. If Connie came up and she went, hey Ducky, would you mind if I went out drinking with the girls tonight? I'd be like looking at her kind of going, Well, what do you mean, would I mind? Are you asking permission to fuck another man or something? Like, you know, why are you coming talking to me? Like, I don't have any responsibility over where you are, where you're going at any given time. Why are you trying to run this past me? This makes no sense at all. Like, if she came to me and just said, me and the girls, I had out drinking tonight, I'd be like, yeah, grand. Fucking free house. Bit of peace and fucking quiet. Jesus Christ, thank God. That's so bad, but that's genuinely my reaction. When the missus wants to go away for a night or something like that, I'm just like, oh yeah, grand, sure, I'd be fucking happy out, a bit of peace and quiet. Because when you live with somebody and you're talking to them day in, day out, like it is nice on occasion to have the place to yourself. And just to go 24 hours without talking to them sometimes, it's nice to have a break. You need that for any kind of healthy ongoing things. Just the ability to not be interrupted is a fantastic thing. You know, it's underrated. It's great. If you hear any like random snorts or grunts or anything like that, it's just my dog again. He snorts in his sleep, just sitting there, and he just every now and again he'll just let out a snort. Or a fucking fart that will knock a fucking elephant. But yeah, I think one of my next videos is going to be a retail one, believe it or not. I know. It's been a long time. I was thinking there's a couple of stories. It's so funny. I was trying, because I want to do retail story videos. Because, you know, obviously the retail videos helped massively with my channel's growth and stuff like that. And a lot of people identify with them then as well. So, and it's nice to look back on bleaker, more desperate times in my life. I was sitting there and I was kind of pondering script ideas. It's like, what story can I tell? I wanted to do like, rather than just general annoying things the customers do, I wanted to do like specific stories of arsehole customers or whatnot that I've dealt with over the years. So I was sitting there trying my best to think of, you know, some interactions I've had, negative interactions I've had with customers. And man, I really fucking struggled to remember any of them. And it's not for the lack of them. I have memories of being so miserable from dealing with fucking idiots non-stop, day in, day out. But the problem is, I think I've just repressed every fucking memory of it. Well, not every memory. I eventually thought of a few things I can do videos on, certainly, but there should have been a lot more material readily available in my head, but it was just gone. I don't know. Maybe it's just I spend so much time in my retail life on fucking autopilot. And speaking of retail, God, I dodged a fucking bullet leaving retail when I did. I'd hate the work in retail right now with this whole fucking COVID shit going on. God, the insufferable fucking bastards that customers are is ridiculous. I was up at Tesco the other day, and literally, there was this one walking around fucking Tesco with a mask on her chin. On her fucking chin, because it was on her face, so she couldn't like have forgotten it was there. It's not like, you know, it's not like you can just forget you're wearing a fucking hat or something. It's on your fucking face. And she's walking around with it on her chin. And like, you know, you had the staff kind of going up to her and say, like, sorry miss, would you mind lifting your mask? And she's like, yeah, and she lifts the mask. I'm like, why are people struggling so much with just putting the fucking mask up on their face? It's ridiculous. And then, of course, you have all these conspiracy fucking bastards shouting on about, it's the government. They're just, you know, they want to put a microchip in you so they can track you at all times. And it's just like, have you not a fucking smartphone? They can already track you at all times. Have you a driver's license? Okay, a PPS number. Yeah, you have that there as well. Okay, the government has everything it needs to know about you already then. They're not trying to mind control you. They're not trying to give you fucking autism. There's no big fucking pharma. Oh, that shit annoys me. But it's not even the conspiracies themselves that annoy me. They do, because as fucking retarded as they are. What really annoys me is it's the mentality and the willing ignorance of these people that be spouting this fucking horseshit. They have this attitude, it's like, do your research. And he was like, don't give me this do your research bullshit. Because if I handed you actual fucking research, you'd just claim that the scientists that did the studies or whatever else were just working for a big pharma. All fucking 10,000 plus fucking scientists in the world, or doctors or everything else, you know, are all collaborating somehow. It's ridiculous. Like, they couldn't keep the fact that was it Bill Clinton wrote his missus or wrote his secretary in the Oval Office. They couldn't keep that secret, but apparently it is fucking big secret organisation that's keeping pharmaceutical companies, big pharma and big tech and all that in business. Jesus, that's a thing. Yeah, it's like, listen, if you can't stop the public becoming aware of your president riding a secretary, what makes you think that they're able to keep all this shit under wraps? Like, there's no big fucking bad Dr. Evil of the world looking to take over. There's bad cunts out there, but God, they're not that fucking sophisticated. I don't know. I have to go on a tangent. And I think it's probably my second tangent about fucking conspiracy theories. Fucking hell. The problem is I just have so many relations that fucking listen to all that shit, and you'd see them on Facebook, and I used to always engage them constantly and just call them idiots, but nowadays it's just like, you know what, no, I'm happier if I just ignore them and hope to God that Facebook keeps suppressing this fucking bullshit, like, cause Not that I'm even on Facebook anymore. Facebook or a boomer book, am I right? It's just full of old people nowadays. Old people. And it's just a place where, you can send a friend request to somebody and not talk to them ever. Like, even just the last couple of weeks, there was a guy I used to know years ago, back when I was like 13 or 14, sent me a friend request on Facebook. I was like, jeez, I haven't talked to this lad in ages. And I accepted it, and I haven't heard anything off him at all. He just sent it to me for the sake of having more friends or something, I don't know. And we're not even friends, like, we're acquaintances. And he also turned out to be an absolute knacker. And I don't mean that like traveller type of thing where people get offended by it. I mean like a scumbag. It's just he's into his weed. He's always broke, but somehow has 120 quid shoes. Has done fuck all with his life. He's a selfie on Facebook. He's wearing a gold chain and he's got hair gel on, but it's like gelled into his skull and his forehead. No, he's not actually styled it. He's just kind of, if anything, he's just flattened his hair even more with the gel. Somebody I wouldn't associate with nowadays, to be quite honest, unless I needed some fucking heroin or something. But, God, it's crazy how like fucking people change over time. I remember when I was in school, one thing that flattened me, there was one thing, I went to school with this girl and she was okay looking way back when. 5 out of 10, she was carrying a bit of weight. She would never put on makeup, anything like that. Just, usual shit. So a girl you never really paid any heed to. And I was talking to her there a couple of years back. We bumped into each other on a night out. And fuck me, boy, she was a bombshell. I don't know how or what happened, but Christ almighty, she what's that phrase I heard? Is it glowed up? I don't know. She was just looking fucking fine now, where she was mediocre once upon a time. And it's just crazy how people can change. More often than not, it goes the other way, because there was a fair few girls I knew in school that were fine way back when and now are physically a bit of a mess. They didn't look after themselves very well. They've put on an awful lot of weight or just not taking care of themselves properly at all, and they don't dress particularly nicely. Usual shit. Not that I can say much now, actually, because I've got a bit of a gut back and I don't like it. It's ridiculous. Myself and the missus, two of us are sporting a gut. Me, much more so than her now, to be quite honest. She's got that, she has a little bit of weight, but God knows she can get rid of that in a couple of weeks of diet. It's only a little bit of chub. I'm supporting a full fucking keg of a belly, not even a 6-pack, It's coming down, but it's just a waiting game. I don't want to emerge the other side of a fucking pandemic and be like, Jesus Christ, Ducky, you have a body on you like a fucking mattress. Also, I bought a pair of pants like ages ago as well. And I bought these pants when I was dieting, and I was just like, it won't be long before I fit into these, because I thought I might fit into them, but my waist, at my ideal weight, my waist is 34 inches. And so I bought these pants, and these pants I couldn't even close the fucking button on them. Every other fucking pants I have in my wardrobe is 34 inches on the waist, and they vary so much, the waist, the size is ridiculous. And you're like, how the fuck is 34 inches different in any way, shape or form? It's a unit of measurement. It shouldn't vary. But then you're going to go off to fucking Pennies or Sports Direct or something like that, and 34 waist in one shop is not the same as a 34 waist in another shop. And I don't understand it. It bothers me so much. It's like, what the fuck? Who's selling dodgy fucking measuring tapes? What's going on here? Actually, since I'm ranting, something that popped into my head actually when I was writing that whining and dining video was a time I was at a restaurant with the missus, an old Chinese restaurant, and there was an elderly lad at a table near us, just across the way. He had a bit of a cough. Now, this is before COVID or anything. It wasn't like he was riddled, but he had a bit of a cough. He'd obviously been an asthmatic or smoker or something like that. Anyway, the way he coughed angered my soul. He did like this unnecessary fucking loud. He was like he was trying to draw attention. You just hear it from across there. Go something like this. Just completely fucking, didn't try to suppress it, muted, nothing. Like, Max just sat up in the bed when he fucking heard that. I'm sorry, buddy, did I wake you up? Yeah. But, just this completely obnoxious cough. And you're like, what the fuck are you trying to achieve with that cough? He nearly coughed up a testicle. He was coughing so fucking hard. It was ridiculous. That shit annoys me. Do you ever just want to stand up in a restaurant and throw something at somebody? Just break the fucking chair over their back? And, and hope to God they don't see it coming, that kind of way. Just blindside them with a fucking chair over the back. You're just like, you fuck, why? Why are you the way that you are? What you guys think of the new merch, actually? Yeah, dropped some new merch recently. Was that one that Rokata did, Me and the Lads design, which lovely looking design. Real fucking eye-catching, like a real lovely looking image. It looked well in a fucking t-shirt anyway, that's for sure. And then the other one was Beer Banter and Box, which is a phrase I said in my video about about the sleep paralysis. You need to watch that if you haven't seen it. Probably one of my favourite recent videos. But yeah, I used that for his beer banter and box, and it's like, you know, somebody mentioned in the comments, they're like, oh, you really need to put that in a t-shirt. And I was like, really? I don't know. I'd wear that in a t-shirt, no problem at all, but I could imagine a lot of people wouldn't, because it's a bit blunt, you know? It's a bit in your face. Beer banter and box, like, you know? You wouldn't wear it to church, we'll say that much. But I did, and it fucking sold, and it sold well. It outsold the me and the lads one even. Still hasn't topped the fucking the Gay Tuesday one. It's got to be Gay Tuesday somewhere, which I think is my most, and probably will be my most popular shirt I've ever put out, unless I can think of something else that would look good on a shirt. Thing is, I'm not creative at all, but I suppose that doesn't count for much, seeing as I'm the one that designed the It's Got to Be Gay Tuesday Somewhere shirt, and that's the best selling one. So I bet it's more about the phrase, I think, or it's more about what's on it than how it looks, I suppose. Well, I'm starting to ramble, lads. I'm starting to shite on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to end this here, and I'm going to, what time is it? Oh shit, I'm releasing my video in a half an hour. So I'm going to go down and do a bit of wash up there, just so the kitchen's not an absolute fucking state when the missus finishes work. And then I'm going to release that video. So I'm just going to leave this here. So thanks everybody for listening, joining me today. You know, I hope you got some value out of this while you're sitting there studying or working away, or, you know, zoned out staring at the ceiling, just having your general fucking despair of what's happening through the world. I hope I kept you entertained for the half an hour, 45 minutes that I was here. So take care, lads, and I will catch you, lads and ladies, in the next one.